Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Someone asked, how bad does your personal credit have to be? Okay, here's the thing about it, and I want you all to understand this. There's two levels of bad credit. Okay, you have above 580 bad and below 580 bad. Okay, especially when you're trying to get a loan. Now, again, that's not the only component when trying to get a loan, especially when your credit is bad. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you the lenders of how you go about getting them and what you need to do. All right, but people have to understand, even when I tell you guys that you can get a loan when you have bad credit and no job. Now, again, I'm gonna clarify. When I say no job, that doesn't mean that you don't have income. Okay, and I think a lot of people are not understanding. Because you don't have a job, that does not mean you don't have income. Okay, because you can have a side hustle and be producing income. You can be retired. You can be in the stock market. There's so many ways. You can be on child support. You can have alimony. Whenever you apply for like a credit card or something like that, they ask you these things. Do you have child support? Do you have alimony? Right? So they're actually asking you these things. So that's the reason I continue to tell you guys that because you don't have a job, this does not disqualify you from getting a loan. All right? Because you may have other sources of income. All right, I just wanted to make that clear, so a lot of people won't be confused and saying, "What does he mean by not having a job?" That's what I mean, not having a job. Not having a job does not equal not having income. All right. Now we got that out of the way. Let me help you understand when I said there's 580 and above, and then there's 580 and below. Okay. Here's the thing about it: when you have a 580 and below, and you're trying to get an emergency loan, you have to focus more on, it's unfortunate, they're going to be predatory lenders. And so the predatory lenders, they're going to charge you higher interest rates, triple digits. Why? Because a lot of time they already aware that you have defaulted on loans, you defaulted on credit cards, you're not making your payments on time, so they charge you the higher interest because they are still taking a gamble on you. So they don't know if you're going to pay them back or not, right? So that's the reason why when I tell you, when you're going for certain type of loans, 580 and above and below, you're looking at your tribal lender loans, okay? Now, with the tribal lender loans, that would be like Explore Credit, right? So with Explore Credit, they offer up to $2,000, right? They're not in all 50 states. But at the same time, when you needing money, you can't go to a relative, you can't go to a friend, then these are the type of places you end up. Why these tribal lenders? Because they get the money from the casinos. You go to the casino, lose your money, then they take it up, they set up shop, and they loan this money out. Okay, that's where that money comes from. All right, so you have like big picture loan up to $3,500. You have 3-stick lending loans up to $3,000. Okay, so you cannot expect to look for a lot of money. Okay, now also take into consideration is your income. Okay, so with these here type of lenders, they're usually looking at if your income is $800 after taxes or above. Okay, now you may luckily find like a CDFI, okay, a Community Development Financial Institute like Opportune. Okay, so they would only want you to have at least $500 after taxes, and they offer loans from $300 up to $10,000. Again, they're not in all 50 states. All right, so you may have luck with one of those. But for most of the time, when you have a 580 and below, you're going to definitely end up looking at your tribal lenders in terms of loans and stuff like that. Okay, now some of the platforms that deal with the tribal lenders is like big buck loans, right? So the good part about those type of platforms, the interest rates would be more reasonable, 5.99 up to 35.99. Viva Payday loan, 5.99 up to 35.99. All right. Even like with low credit finance, granted, they go all the way up to $50,000 with loans, but they also deal with tribal lenders, okay, on their platform. So if you're on like welfare, government benefits and stuff, they still try to find a lender to loan you money. So that's the thing about it. And their interest rate is 5.99. All right. Now, what about 580 and above? So with 580 and above, then now you're going to be looking at your fintechs, because you're not going to still go to your credit unions, like your credit unions and a few of your banks, okay? If you've been banking with them long enough, at least 90 days or longer, your credit unions, all right, they offer small loans up to $3,000, okay, with no credit check, with some of your credit unions, all right? Now, with Bank of America, U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, they offer small dollar loans. However, you have to make sure that you haven't had any overdrafts in your checking account for at least a year. And they charge a fee on that as well. Okay? So those are the ones that they're talking about that won't check the credit and stuff like that for us with the banks and stuff like that. Beyond that, if you're trying to get higher limits, then looking at your income. That's the reason I tell you, if you have a 580 and above, okay, then the type of creditor you want to look at is more likely your fintechs. So again, with your fintechs, even like with Upstart, right? So with Upstart, they give you 1,000 up to 50,000, okay? 580 credit score. The thing about it, you have to have at least 2 years of history, all right? Then I would definitely tell you your income is going to be over $45,000 or more. Your after taxes monthly income usually is going to be above $1,500 or more, all right? Then you have Avant, okay? So Avant goes from 500 up to 35,000. Again, very flexible, but at the same time, the income is going to have to be much higher. Now, granted, they want your income to be at least $1,200 or more after taxes. So that's the reason why I keep telling you guys, there are certain lenders that you actually have to go to, especially, like I said, now you understand there's two different levels when you have bad credit. Now, a couple other things that you can do when you have bad credit, if you have a job, then go get the interest-free loan. Go to your HR, file a tax exempt for 3 to 4 months. That'll stop them from taking out income taxes out of the check to bring you a bigger paycheck, okay? That's an option. Then if you need help with your bills and stuff, go to findhelp.org. Put your zip code in. Let some of those lenders, let some of those institutions, nonprofit institutions help you pay your rent, help put food on the table, okay? Those are the places you want to go to. Then you even have Work Innovation Opportunity Act, right? Many people don't even know that the Work Innovation Opportunity Act, not only will it help you pay for classes for more education to help you get certification, but they also give them money to help you pay for rent, to help you pay for transportation, to make sure you getting back and forth. A lot of people aren't even aware of this. That's what I'm saying. It's resources out here to help. A lot of people just are not aware of it. All right. There's also a lot of you people may have lost money by the government or never received money from a last payday or something like that. You go to findmoney.org or something like that. There's plenty of places for you actually to go to. All right. In terms of loans and stuff, you also have universal credit, 580 credit score. All right. 1,000 up to 5,000. Now, here's the thing about it. When you're looking at universal credit, upgrade, upstart, again, you have to have a credit file for at least 2 years old, okay? 2 years old with at least 2 trade lines on it, all right? Then you have Zippy loans. They go up to $15,000, but again, here's where it matters, all right? Making sure that you have income, all right? Even if you have at least $35,000, but income after taxes is usually $1,000 or more. Okay, so that's the thing about it, understanding that you can get money. You can get money. You just need to know which level you're on in order to get money. All right. So I hope this helps you. If you have questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.